Hello again. A number of Conservative MPs have written to Boris Johnson urging him to scrap taxes on rapidly rising energy bills and stop families falling into fuel poverty. They say removing these extra costs could save the average household something like £200 a year. Well, joining us now is Ruth London, Fuel Poverty Action's co-director. Thank you for your time on Sky News. We know it's a pretty worrying situation, isn't it, with costs escalating, potential of doubling by the spring.
It certainly is worrying, especially on top of everything else people have been facing. You know, COVID, the cut to universal credit, they say that that's, they've tapered it for some people. But if you're, for instance, a single mother or disabled, you are not tapered. You're just losing all that money that was helping to keep people alive. And single mothers can't go out to work because they have a baby to look after, perhaps. What are you supposed to do with the baby? You know, this is the kind of dilemma that they're leaving people with. Older people are going to bed early because they can't keep warm in their homes. That's no way to live, you know, after a lifetime's work. So, you know, they talk about choosing between heating and eating, but a lot of people can't do either. They're trying to get blood out of a stone now. And I really don't know what they expect people to do, but I know there's going to be a lot of anger about it and people just not accepting it.
And that's the situation at the moment before the costs of fuel, energy escalate even further.
That's right. And fundamentally, the energy system that we have now, the energy market, is not working. It is not providing the fuel that people need, you know, to keep warm and keep our fridges running and, you know, cook, do the essentials. And we think that that means that that whole system needs to change. We think that we need fairer prices because the way the pricing system is set up now, people who use less energy actually pay more per unit. We need much more better insulated homes, much more energy efficiency, and we need to switch to renewables because we can't just be held to ransom by these profit-making fossil fuel companies. They're, you know, the big companies, the big oil firms are actually, the profits are soaring just at a time when everybody is paying, you know, struggling to pay this extra to them. They're doing better than ever. And that's not acceptable. And I have to say, you might be surprised to hear this, but we don't agree with that proposal. What is proposed is like a further subsidy. It's further government money going to these fossil fuel companies. And they're holding us to ransom because, of course, we need extra money, you know, to pay the bills. But if you do it that way, you know, if you take away taxes from those bills, what you're doing is you're giving more benefit to the people who have more to begin with. You're giving more benefit to people who use more and less benefit to the people who are scrimping and saving and maybe only managing to put the heat on for an hour a day. Some people not at all. So
the government does accept there's a problem. I mean, Kwasi Kwarteng, the Business and Energy Secretary, held talks with the major energy providers just days ago.
Yes. No, they do accept there's a problem, but they won't do what is actually needed to solve it. Because, you know, on energy efficiency, on insulation, there was the Green Homes Grant. It was a total disaster, and the government hasn't replaced that money at all. You know, on switching to renewables, again, they're just not doing what they say they're going to do. And they're instead continuing to feed the beast, really, you know, more and more money going into this industry. You know, if the government's going to step in and say, okay, well, you know, you can charge what you like and we'll make up the difference if people can't pay it. What kind of message does that send? The prices just go higher and higher. We have to actually get out of being dependent on these people. We need renewable energy, which is much cheaper in the end. You know, you have to do an initial investment to get solar panels or, you know, big solar farms or wind farms and so on. There is an initial investment needed. You know, they should do a windfall tax on the big energy suppliers. I'm not talking about the retailers. I'm talking about the, you know, North Sea gas. They should do a windfall tax on those people whose profits are soaring and put that money into breaking our dependence on them, because we can't be held to ransom year after year. You know, fossil fuels, the prices are obviously volatile and much too high. We have to break away from it.
Right, let's leave it there. I'm sure it's an issue we will talk about much more in the coming weeks and months. But Ruth London, Fuel Poverty Action's co-director, good to see you for now on Sky News. Thank you.
Thank you.